Do you ever grab a juice because it feels like the better option, especially when you want something quick for work, school, or the car? The frustrating truth is that a lot of products sitting in the juice aisle are not what you think they are, and some have even ended up in official recall notices. Today, we're counting down 8 juice brands Australians should avoid, and at the end, we'll share 4 better picks, plus a simple label checklist so you can spot the good stuff fast. We're starting at the very bottom with number 8. Number 8, PopTops fruit drink, commonly sold in supermarkets. PopTops has been around forever, and it's easy to trust it because it looks like a kid-friendly fruit juice option. Bright packaging, fruit on the front, and it usually leans on claims like no preservatives and no artificial colours. The problem is in the fine print. This is a fruit drink, not a full juice, and on the ingredient list, you'll see it's mostly water with reconstituted juice and then added sugar. For example, PopTops Apple Blackcurrant lists water, reconstituted juices at about 30% total, and sugar. And when you look at the nutrition panel, you're staring at 15.2 grams of sugars in a 250 milliliter box. That matters because these are the kinds of drinks that go down fast, and they don't chew like fruit, they don't fill you up like fruit, and they don't bring the same fibre. So if you've been using these as an everyday, healthy lunchbox drink, it's worth reclassifying them in your head as an occasional sweet drink that just happens to have a little juice in it. If a product needs added sugar to taste like fruit, that's your sign. Now, the next one is even sneakier because it's a home brand. Number 7, Woolworths Lunchbox Poppers Tropical 35% Fruit Drink. Woolworths. This one gets a lot of trust because it's a supermarket brand product. It looks simple, and the 35% fruit drink label can sound decent if you're not stopping to do the maths. But the ingredients tell the real story. Water, reconstituted fruit juices, and then added sugar. The other issue is the serving size. It's a 250 milliliter box, and on the nutrition panel, it shows 9.5 grams sugar per 100 milliliters. Multiply that across the full 250 milliliter box, and you're landing around 24 grams of sugar for one drink. That's not a small sip with lunch. That's a serious sugar hit for something marketed as a lunchbox staple. And this is the pattern we see again and again with fruit drinks. Minimal juice, water to bulk it up, sugar to make it taste right, and acids to keep it stable and tangy. If you're thinking, but it's still fruit, that seems to be the heart of the misunderstanding. Fruit drinks are not the same thing as eating fruit, and they're not even the same thing as 100% juice. This is a budget-friendly product, but the value isn't great if what you really wanted was a healthier drink. Keep moving, because number 6 is a classic name that a lot of Aussie households grew up with. Number 6, Golden Circle. Golden Pash fruit drink, Golden Circle. Golden Circle is one of those brands people associate with Australian pantry basics. It shows up at barbecues, school events, and family gatherings, and it feels like one of the safer, familiar options. The issue is that this specific product is also a fruit drink, and when you read the ingredients, it's water first, then reconstituted fruit juice in modest percentages, and then added sugar. In the Golden Pash multi-pack, you'll see water, reconstituted pear or apple juice at 15%, pineapple at 9%, passion fruit at 1%, and then sugar. So you're not buying a juice, you're buying a sweetened drink with a fruit flavour profile. And this is where marketing can quietly mislead you. A product can still say no artificial colours or good source of vitamin C, and none of that changes the fact that it's not a 100% juice product. It also doesn't change the bigger, practical point. These drinks are easy to overconsume because they're tasty and portable. If this is in your regular grocery rotation, the simplest move is to stop treating it like juice and start treating it like a soft drink alternative. It's not about panic, it's about accurate categories. Coming up next is another lunchbox favourite, and this one is even more blunt about how little juice is inside. Number 5. Prima Tropical Fruit Drink Poppers, Prima. Prima tends to get the fun but still acceptable reputation. The packaging feels kid-friendly, and it often positions itself as a simple refreshment. But Prima Tropical Fruit Drink is very clear once you look for it. It's 20% fruit juice. The ingredients list is water, reconstituted juices, then added sugar, plus acidity regulator and flavours. And the numbers matter here. In a 200ml popper, the nutrition panel shows 18 grams of sugars per pack. That is a lot for a small box, especially when the juice content is only a 4/5 of the drink. This is one of those products where parents often assume it can't be that bad, it's juice. But it's not really juice. It's a sweet drink with some juice mixed in. If you want a quick rule, it's this. The smaller the juice percentage, the more you should expect added sugar to make up the taste gap. And over time, these little drinks can quietly become a daily habit. We're not saying you can never buy it, we're saying it doesn't deserve the health halo it often gets. Quick pause. If you're finding this information valuable and you're still with us, drop a comment with the number 4 so we know you're here. And if this is your first time watching, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. It really helps us continue creating well-researched content like this. Alright, let's get back to it. Number 4. Daily Juice Co. Green juices, including green mix and green juice blend with folate. Green juice sounds like the ultimate shortcut. You're busy, you want something that feels healthier than a soft drink, and the bottle is basically promising you the good life in liquid form. But this is a case where the green look can do a lot of heavy lifting. In 2024, Choice gave Daily Juice Co. a Shonky Award over its green juice products, pointing out that when you look closely, there's no green vegetable included, and the green effect comes from added colouring rather than actual greens. That's important because the entire reason people pay extra for green products is the assumption they're getting vegetables. If it's basically fruit juice dressed up in a green costume, that's not what most people think they're buying. And it's not just about being annoyed at marketing. It's about how easily you can build a health routine around something that doesn't deliver what you expected, especially when you're trying to cut down on sugary drinks. The bottom line is simple. If A, product markets itself as veggie forward, it should actually contain vegetables in a meaningful way. Otherwise, it's a branding exercise. Now, number 3 isn't about sugar first. It's about something even more fundamental. Whether the label tells the truth. Number 3. Superbarn private label apple juice and cranberry juice. Superbarn. This one matters because it's about trust. In May 2015, the ACCC issued infringement notices to Superbarn over representations made about 2 of its private label juices. According to the ACCC, Superbarn's private label apple juice was represented as freshly squeezed and made from fresh Australian apples. But the ACCC said it was actually made from reconstituted concentrate imported from China. And the cranberry juice was represented as having no added sugar, but the ACCC said it contained added sugar. This is exactly why we tell people to slow down and read claims carefully, especially on private label products where the branding can feel reassuring. To be fair, this was a specific case and time, and products can change, but it's still a useful reminder. A nice sounding claim is not the same thing as a verified statement. If you buy juice because you're trying to avoid added sugar, or because you prefer Australian ingredients, you need the label to be accurate for your decision to mean anything. That brings us to number 2, where the issue is not marketing, it's safety and storage. Number 2, Voyager Estate Sparkling Red Grape Juice, Voyager Estate. This one is a different category entirely, and it's worth paying attention to because it shows how even fancy products can run into real quality and safety problems. In September 2023, Food Standards Australia New Zealand listed a recall for Voyager Estate sparkling red grape juice due to unintended fermentation, which could cause the bottle to become overpressurized. When fermentation happens in a sealed product, you can end up with gas buildup, and that's not something you want to ignore. Even if you've never had this brand, the lesson is bigger than the product. Sparkling juices, fermented drinks, and anything sealed under pressure needs careful manufacturing control and temperature control. When it goes wrong, it can go wrong fast. If you ever notice a bottle that looks swollen, leaks, sprays when opened, or smells off, that's not a cute quirk, it's a stop sign. Which brings us to number 1, and this is the most serious one on the list. Number 1, Moringafi green juice, 270 grams, Moringafi. When a product hits an official recall for a pathogen, we take it seriously, because that's not a debate about taste or marketing. That's a direct food safety issue. In January 2024, Food Standards Australia New Zealand listed a recall for Moringafi green juice 270 grams due to salmonella. With recalls like this, the advice is straightforward. Do not consume it. Follow the return or disposal instructions provided, and if you've already consumed it and feel unwell, seek medical advice. The reason we're placing this at number 1 is simple. A sugary fruit drink might be a better choices conversation. A recall for salmonella is a stop consuming it conversation. And it's also a reminder that when you're buying chilled juices, cold pressed juices, or products that feel more fresh, you want strong manufacturing controls behind the scenes. Freshness is not a safety plan. So now that we've covered what to avoid, let's talk about better picks that keep things simpler and more honest. Now that we've covered the brands to be cautious about, here are 4 better picks that are at least doing the basics right. These are not magic health drinks, but they're clearer, simpler options when you really want a juice. Better pick 1. Golden Circle No Added Sugar Orange Juice, 200 milliliters. This is one of the options Choice highlighted as a better convenience pick because it contains no added sugar and keeps kilojoules lower than many alternatives. What to look for is that no added sugar claim paired with a short ingredient list that reads like orange juice, not fruit drink. Practical tip: choose smaller packs like 200 ml, and if you're using juice as a lunchbox item, consider treating half as the serve and pairing it with water. Better pick 2. Just Juice Orange Juice, 200 ml. Just Juice also appears in Choice's better list for no added sugar and lower kilojoules per pack. The label check is simple. Look for 100% juice wording and no added sugar, and make sure it's not a fruit drink product. Practical tip: buy multi-packs when they're on special, but store them cool and use them as an occasional add-on, not the default daily drink. Better pick 3. Nudie Nothing But 2 Oranges, 200 ml. Nudie's Nothing But range is popular because it's very transparent about what it is, and Choice included it among the better convenience options. The label cue is right in the name. You want products that clearly communicate this is just fruit, without needing sugar, flavours, or a long list of extras. Practical tip: these can cost more, so use them strategically, like for outings, not as a daily habit. Better pick 4. Just Juice Apple Juice, 200 milliliters. Apple juice is still naturally high in sugar, but this is one of the better convenience versions because it's positioned as no added sugar and lower kilojoules per pack compared to many fruit drinks. The label cue is the same. Avoid fruit drink, avoid added sugar, and keep the serve size realistic. Practical tip: if you want a gentler everyday option, dilute juice with water in a bottle so you get flavour without turning every drink into a sugar hit. And now the part that actually saves you money and frustration, the quick label checklist for spotting the traps. First, look for the words fruit drink versus juice. Choice found that fruit drinks often contain minimal juice, water, and usually added sugar, and they're basically in treat territory. Second, check the percentage. If the pack says 20%, 30%, 35% juice, that's a big clue you're not buying what most people mean when they say juice. Third, scan the ingredient list for added sugar. It can be listed simply as sugar, but the point is the same. If sugar is added, it's no longer just fruit doing the sweetening. Fourth, watch the serving size. The Australian Dietary Guidelines define a serve of juice as 125 millilitres, but many juice boxes are 200 millilitres or 250 millilitres, which makes it easy to double your intake without noticing. Fifth, don't get distracted by vitamin C claims. A product can add vitamin C and still be a sugary drink. And Choice specifically warns not to let vitamin claims steer your choice. Finally, keep recalls on your radar. If you buy chilled juices, sparkling juices, or niche health juices, it's worth occasionally checking Fazan's recall alerts. Because when something is recalled, the instructions are usually clear and time sensitive. So there you have it, 8 juice brands and product lines we'd think twice about, and 4 better picks that keep things simpler when you do want juice. The bigger takeaway is not that juice is bad, it's that the juice aisle is full of products that borrow the health reputation of fruit while behaving more like sweet drinks. Companies count on you being busy, not reading the percentage, and assuming the front label tells the full story. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who buys lunchbox drinks every week. And tell us in the comments, what category should we investigate next?